have I got a surprise for you. Please stop asking me to review one of these. This is just a prototype. Don't even have the final one. But we'll check it out. If only this was Black Rifle coffee, it would be so much better. Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com. I just got back from a trade show and Excel was gracious enough to let me take one of their prototypes home to do a product review video. Might have shamed them that they gave it to Lancaster like a month ago. But in any event, they're letting me check this out to you, and then I have to ship it back to them because this is a prototype and there are some small changes to the final product. The first thing I can say about this is really, really, really light. Like, really, 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 really light. Every site that I've looked at is nowhere near this light, I don't think. So for comparison, if you're looking for the lightest thing to get, this is probably your dog. Bunch of screw positions to mount this thing up or down. It looks like it's micro driven on the rail, which is pretty sweet feature for your first access rail. Same second, third adjustments. Bubbles independently adjustable if I remember right. Let me look at that. No, it's not. It's hang on, give me a minute. That's right here. There should be. Maybe they're on the assumption that this is mounted square to here. Yeah, that's what it is. So you can do a third. Their second adjustment, they're probably deeming unnecessary because it's machined square to here. If you have an Excel head on there. If you put any other head on here, you might not get those two to line up, just so you know. But when they're built square, that's really not an issue if you're not incorporating different things. The knob movement is clean and crisp and easy. That's one of the better feeling ones I've experienced. It does have a lever lock to lock it down in place. Your left to right adjustment in this site is locked in here and removed in here and then twisted here. Left and right, click, 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 click. Third axis is super easy to adjust. This is a 5-pin model that they had. You can get this in a 3-pin, a 5-pin, a vertical single, and a vertical double in different diameters as well. Their pin adjustment system is the nicest pin adjustment system I have seen. If you're going to use a 3-pin or a 5-pin, you're going to have a hard time beating it. But when you get up into this bad boy, it's about $550 for a bridge lock style 5-pin mover on the driver. So it's up there, but the base model of these with a single up pin is like $425, and they escalate up from there. So this is actually relatively affordable compared to some of the competition things, i.e. dialed proof, which is up to $6. The UltraView Matthews edition, which is $7. Comparable to the Boonie probably on price. I think the Boonie might be a little cheaper and a little easier to interchange the different bracketry, which probably doesn't matter to the end user because they're buying it for the size that they want. But for a shop, it's a huge advantage. And if you went from a Matthews this year to a Hoyt next year, you could buy just the bracket and not the whole assembly to be able to switch that back and forth, which you can buy in here as well. We're gonna go ahead and stick this on, line it up square, and set some levels and see how it goes. But this is, I'll be surprised if this isn't the best-selling site of the year, personally, as long as they can ship it, but we'll see. I don't think I missed anything here on what it does. That locks in your left to right, so it's independently movable. Loosen that. Move your gear, move back up. It's click, it's clean. It does have an adjustable zero stop. I didn't mention that. So you can stop the movement of the site up somewhere in the chassis. So you can not look at it, move it to where it stops, and you're at the beginning of your pin positions, i.e. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or whatever you want to do there. Rheostat adjustable. These sight heads are the same that they've been on the other models, so I'm not really highlighting that. Just this new independent chassis that's super light, super smooth, super clean. Does do metal sight tape options interchangeable. 1 indicator needle assembly, not 2. And then the number of pins you have in here would dictate how many number of pins you have here for indicator needles. So let's screw this on here and get it level. It's clean, it's small. If you're putting it on a Matthews, you're gonna have a hard time beating that little bridge lock setup right there. It's pretty slick. This is the frustrating thing with most of these sight rails. Trying to get a level to clamp on here good is kind of a pain in the butt. It's almost like somebody needs to make them for each one. Although I think this will pop over into the groove. Yeah, it does. Okay. So it looks like our rail is off just a little bit. Our bubble's off just a little bit. Now this I don't like. This is going to be a bear. To get at these screws in here, is really tight. So you're going to need a set of Easton Stubby XL Allen wrench set to be able to get in there and actually loosen that screw before you can adjust it, because it's just not, there's no room in here. Which part of making something low profile is going to do that. You're going to have a hard time getting at certain screws because of it. Okay, so loosen up that screw, and then this looks like a simple drive system, which is pretty dope. That's the way it should be for all you other site manufacturers out there that don't do it this way. If this works like I think it will, you can easily pull it in or out. There you go. Yep. Boom, boom. And voila, those bubbles match. And that's perfect. And that is it. That's all you got to do. This is for third access, which you should be able to manipulate while you shoot it in. So that lines up good. Let's see how this looks on here square wise. Bring that in a little bit. Make sure we still have enough adjustment. Because that's some things that do get missed or overlooked sometimes on sites. They don't put it on every bow, which obviously they're going to put it on a Matthews because they're so popular. But just to see how much adjustment you end up with when it's going to roughly be sighted in and tuned. And that's about where it would belong. That's about the angle you want it at. That looks pretty good. I can't say really anything negative about this site. They've addressed everything that you would want this site to do. I mean, $425 to $550. I'm going to throw this right back out there. I really don't know why sites are more than $500. I don't know why. I can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a ton of little intricate parts in here. If there was a thing that got bolted on a bow that you could justify that kind of cost for, it could be a site, because they're harder to make and there's more pieces and parts going into each individual one to make that. But just being fair, I don't think they need to cost more than $500. Comment down below on what you think of that. And please go support your local shop and go try to buy this site. However, I don't want to take business away from them. They're going to have a really hard time getting these all year, and I did order 1,000 of them. So I'm probably going to have them. Supposed to be mid-March, somewhere in there. I think that they're supposed to really start getting into orders. Might be a little earlier than that. Let's fingers crossed and hope. But I did order 1,000 of them, so I will have them in Nashville and Spokane. Head on over to podiumarchery.com for all those archery needs. $99 and up is free shipping, and coupon code MFJJ will save you a little bit of money. And maybe you get one of these on your bow this year. Maybe not. This is probably going to be like a landslide issue, and they're going to be impossible to get for like a year, much like the boonies were like impossible to get last year, and now we have those too. So make sure you're cognizant of that when you plan on putting this on your bow. Make sure you know how long it's going to be before you get it. And please, please, please don't email or message every week going, when are these coming in? March at the earliest, and I will update on Instagram as I get better information on these products. So we'll try to figure out a way for you to pre-order them so you don't have to wait. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.